Hi, I'm Nick Sorrentino for LibertyAndEconomics.com. Uh, I gotta stop making these videos at 1 o'clock in the morning. Um, anyway, I want to talk today about, how the consumer is fundamentally shifting. He or she is shifting all over the place and acting in weird ways. And one way that I think is particularly interesting is, so there was some buoy in the real estate numbers for the 6 months there where the federal government gave $8,000 to new home buyers, and then what happened? Um, Sales fell off a cliff again, and prices are continuing to head down. Um, Cash for clunkers. People got all this money for their clunkers. Went out and bought cars. What happened after that program was ended? Car sales fell off cliff um, again. So now, in the back of the consumer's mind, he or she's got to be thinking, do I really want to make that big purchase right now? Because, if I just hang out, the government might come along and, work some kind of deal for me. I certainly don't want to miss out on that. Um, and, I wonder how much of that is going on in the economy. Maybe not on a conscious level, but maybe on a subconscious level. Um, Something to think about. Yeah, another thing is these programs, the two programs I just mentioned, just front loaded all the business too. So any of the real estate business that was going to be done is done now. Any of the car business that was going to be done largely is done, at least for a little while. Uh, what does that do? And in turn exacerbates, uh, the fluctuations in the market, or creates fluctuations in the market that perhaps would not have been as extreme if the government had just stayed out of the way. Um, I have to say, free markets are wonderful things. You know, let markets be free. Let markets clear. You know, if something's a bad product or service, let that business go bankrupt. If it's a good product or service, let it flourish. But I mean, millions of people are saying this. I mean, let's not have the government pick the winners and the losers. I mean, how can you make business decisions in that kind of environment? I just saw an interesting piece from the Cato Institute where a guy went around interviewing CEOs, um, essentially saying, "Hey, how can we really create jobs?" And the general consensus was, well, I mean, first we could, you know, like, I think most of these guys, most of the companies that this guy, the CEOs of the companies that this guy interviewed were in California, and apparently the California overtime laws are incredibly strict. And these guys were like, hey, just let us, you know, adhere to the federal guidelines on overtime laws, and we'd be less inclined to move business overseas. Um, but I think it's probably more than that. I mean, to do business in this country is increasingly difficult. There are so many regulations and so many hoops to jump through. Um, the free flow of ideas, and that's what business really is. It's an exchange of ideas. I mean, that exchange of money is really, a market is information at its core. And to the degree that the government obfuscates, um, you know, the real value, the prices, within a market, um, you know, it's just going to make things. It's going to it's going to screw things up. And I think we as a country have increasingly headed in this direction. For God's sakes, let's turn around. Anyway, till next time. Maybe I'll do my next video a little earlier in the evening. Till next time, I'm Nick Sorrentino.